actually had to pick up my ESV for this because my King James is so scribbled on throughout this book that I wanted to just sort of take a fresh set of eyes to. And so I've already begun highlighting and scribbling again. But when I compare my highlights and scribble, some are the same and some are different. So, it is pretty nice. It's really nice to honestly, this is a great book to meditate on too throughout the week. Just reread that passage, spend some time in it. But we're going to pick up in verse 9 and go through 11. Let the lowly brother boast in his exaltation, and the rich in his humiliation, because like a flower of the grass he will pass away. For the sun rises with its scorching heat and withers the grass. Its flower falls, and its beauty perishes. So also will the rich man fade away in the midst of his pursuits. These verses describe such a humble spirit that should characterize Christians, regardless of our social status. Both the poor and the rich are given guidance on how to build their joy and comfort based on their circumstances. First, we have to recognize our shared humanity. Those who are struggling financially should be seen as equals. James reminds us that poverty does not diminish our brotherhood in Christ. We are all part of the same family regardless of our economic situation. Second, it's important to understand that being a good Christian does not exclude the possibility of being wealthy. For example, Abraham was a key figure in our faith. He was both faithful and affluent. Grace and material wealth are not mutually exclusive. Third is the capacity for joy. Both the rich and the poor have reasons to rejoice. Our circumstances do not prevent us from finding joy in God. If we fail to rejoice in God, that is a reflection of our own hearts. Right? Those in low positions can find joy by being rich in faith and recognizing their status as heirs of God's kingdom. And conversely, the wealthy can find joy even in humbling experiences, which tend to cultivate a spirit of humility, right? And dependence on God. Fourth is the temporary nature of wealth. It's crucial for those with wealth to remain humble. Our riches and our lives are fleeting. And as James 1:11 puts it, akin to flowers that wither in the heat. Wealth is often uncertain and should not dictate our worth or identity. As we are, we do see the flower, and it fades with the seasons when it's exposed to the sun, and that is the fate regardless of our status, we're called to focus on God's grace and the eternal rewards that he offers rather than being consumed by the fleeting nature of wealth and status. And James goes on in verse 12, he says, "Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him." Now you'll remember last week we talked a little bit about counting it joy and wisdom and suffering and trials. But here James is saying it's not just about suffering. What truly brings blessing is endurance. The person who remains patient and steadfast in facing difficulties while fulfilling your responsibilities is the one who is truly blessed. Hardships cannot make us unhappy. And I know this from firsthand experience. Hardships cannot make us unhappy unless we allow them to. And let me tell you, bitterness in the heart, man, what was that old song? You know, Dick Van Dyke just turned 100. He was in that movie Mary Poppins, A Spoonful of Sugar helps the medicine go down. A spoonful of God's Word helps the medicine go down. You don't have to be unhappy based on the situation. Blessings can emerge from our trials. Far from diminishing a good person's joy, challenges can actually enhance it. I look back on just the past few months, and I find so many little things that are blessings, and I do know that this church and this congregation has been a huge blessing to our family. Enduring hardships and temptations connect us to eternal rewards. When we are tested and approved, much like the metals are refined in fire, we demonstrate our true worth. Being recognized by God as faithful is the ultimate goal of a Christian during trials. And this is the result. This results right in this crown of life. This crown signifies this lasting joy, this lasting fulfillment. And, although we may bear our burdens for a short time, the glory of that crown lasts forever in his kingdom. And the blessedness associated with the crown of life is a promise to those who suffer righteously. This is something we can rely on firmly, even as the world changes. And it changes all the time. It changes every day, every hour. God's promises remain unbroken and unchanged. Importantly, our future rewards, right, our eternal destination, our eternal life, are not earned as wages, but given out of his grace. So to truly benefit from this promise, our perseverance through trials must come from a genuine love for God and Jesus. Paul reminds us that even extreme sacrifices in the name of religion do not please God if they lack love. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 3. If I give away all I have, and that means everything, right? If you give away all you have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, he's saying if I go and I'm going to fall on a sword, right? You get on that soapbox, you fall on a sword, you give everything away, but you do not have love, he says, I gain nothing. The crown of life isn't reserved for just great saints. It's promised to everyone who has God's love in their hearts. Anyone who genuinely loves person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Then desire, when it has conceived, gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is fully grown, brings forth death.
Do not be deceived, my beloved brothers. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. Of his own will he brought us forth by the word of truth, that we should be a kind of firstfruits of his creatures. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, and he himself tempts no one. Romans chapter 9:20. But who indeed are you, O human, to argue with God? Will what is molded say to the one who molds it, why have you made me like this? But each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Genesis 6:5. The Lord saw that the wickedness of humankind was great in the earth, and that every inclination of the thought of their hearts, every inclination of the thought of their hearts was only evil continually. Proverbs 4:23. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flows the springs of life. And Jesus in Mark 7:21 and 22, for it is from within, from the human heart, that evil intentions come. Fornication, theft, murder, adultery, avarice, wickedness, deceit, licentious, evil, slander, pride, and folly. There is no, the devil made me do it. It is simply an amplification of the wickedness that's in our heart that Jesus notes deep down, that's not yet surrendered, that the devil can take advantage of. He amplifies what's already there. He doesn't put it there. And that's what Jesus is talking about. And that's a scary thing, to realize our human sinfulness. These verses teach us that God is not responsible for anyone's sin. No matter who instigates persecution or how unjust their actions may be, we should not blame God. Even when good people are pushed to sin by trials, and I'm cautious using good people, are pushed to sin by trials and difficulties, those actions are still their own responsibility. They're still our own responsibility. James acknowledges that some believers may falter when facing hardships, perhaps even turning to wrongdoing under pressure. But even in those cases, the fault is theirs alone. First, there's nothing in God's nature that would make him responsible for sin. Nothing. People must not say when they are tempted to do wrong that it is God tempting them. God is holy and unchanging. He cannot be tempted by evil, and he does not tempt others to do evil. All sin comes from some failure or corruption within the person committing it, such as a lack of wisdom or self-control or purity. These faults are not in God, whose very essence is pure and perfect. Second, we cannot blame God's providence. That's his control over life events, providence, for our sin. Just as he cannot be tempted by evil, he also does not lead others into temptation, right? Lead me not into temptation. When we say that pretty often. He can't do it. He can't lead you into temptation. It goes against his nature to encourage anything that contradicts his holiness. However, as humans, what do we like to do? We are blame shifters. Man, we can slap that blame around like it's an 18-speed Peterbilt. Let me tell you. Boom, 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 boom. You've never seen somebody float gears so quick until they're in trouble. I hope some folks got that. Anyways, where's that moose at? Huh? No, nothing? Okay, Zach. I know, keep my day job. Adam did this in the very beginning, blaming God for giving him Eve. the impulse to deflect our wrongs onto God have been around since the start. It's wrong enough to commit sin, but it's far worse to blame God for it afterwards. People who blame genetics, I've heard that one a lot. Genetics, right? Life circumstances, some unavoidable destiny for their failings, are falsely accusing God of being the cause of sin. The truth is, when God allows hardships into our lives, it's not meant to stir up our sinful nature, but to strengthen our character and to bring out our virtues. Verse 14 clarifies that each person is tempted. This verse is pretty hard-hitting. When they are led away and enticed by what? Satan? No, their own desires. That one hits pretty hard. Because we even want to say, the devil made me do it. Satan was tempting me, man. Remember, he's only amplifying what's already there. Their own desires. Scripture sometimes refers to the devil as the tempter, and external things may play a part in our temptations, but neither Satan nor anyone else should be blamed in a way that excuses sin. The real source of wrongdoing is within our own hearts. The sinful desires are already there. Outside influences might spark them, but the root cause is inside us. It's the same reason I've shared that we don't have wine for communion within most Protestant churches. Because if I know somebody, I know a couple, if you're a recovering alcoholic, okay, the last thing I want to do, even during a worship service, is to put even the smallest drop of alcohol on your lips. Especially if you've been through the program, right, and you got the coin, and then boom, church is what makes you lose that coin. Church is what makes you go back to the bar. Man, that's heartbreaking. So we don't do that, right? But outside influences can spark it. Proverbs chapter 9:12 reminds us that if we choose to mock wisdom, we alone will suffer for the consequences. So there's a few important things to note as I get ready to wrap up.